We're on.
You win some, you lose more.
Harley is the worst of the three reads. I'm still on the Bevo train, and we have a special guest in studio today. Welcome to AFL Today. I'm your host, Alex Donnelly. I'm going to get the stats guy out of the way early.
Yeah.
Hello, Liam.
Yeah, well, just get me out of the way early.
Just brushed. You're in the middle.
I'm happy with that.
But today, in a special treat, as said off the top, we are joined on your far left if you're watching on YouTube, but my far right here, how good am I going, is Richmond star Grace Egan. Hello, Grace.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you for dropping in. This is good. I feel like we've upped our game. Like guest in studio.
Yeah,
like someone with a social following.
We don't have the lag online. It's beautiful.
It's great. We're actually going to do this well. But before we get to that, we are brought to you by Tab, and their AFL's missed by one. If your disposals leg it misses by one, Tab will still pay you out as a winner. Download the Tab app today. What are you really gambling with? So today, it is a Tuesday, so the midweek madness is a little bit different than usual because, well, the tribunal's tonight, so we're going to miss it. So we might do that in our Yeah Nah tomorrow, brought to you by Yeah Nah Beer. Make sure you check out our social medias for all of that. But midweek winner and loser, as usual, some super coach vibes. We will do the Thursday night footy preview, but mainly we're just here to have a good hang with Grace, just have a bit of a chat.
Why not? Yeah.
We'll just roll into that from the start. Go. I'm just throwing the run sheet into complete chaos straight away.
That's all right.
But how's preseason treating you?
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. We're back at the club. I think we've been just like unofficial training for about a month now. But it's good to have see everyone's face again. Yeah. You go away for a little bit of time, so it's good to see everyone again.
Are you used to the really long pre-seasons? Like, I swear that each year it's gotten a little bit less, but you've had the long pre-season in the AFL.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
I mean, this year they gave us a bit of a blackout period, so that was where time was actually spent away from the club.
That's good.
Which was good, but also 2 months in and you're like, all right, I'm going a bit crazy here. There's only so many laps around an oval I can do myself.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's nice to at least just get back in the club and around the girls and the coaches.
So you're actually not allowed to go into the club in that time?
It's more of an option of like the club can't make you go in. Yeah. But like you can go in and I still went in, but it's on your own terms.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense because now obviously we're slowly extending the season out.
Slowly.
We're going to be a lot more. Yeah.
We're going to get to 17 rounds eventually. But how does your preseason is almost double of your actual season, like when it comes to suspensions and injuries. How's that sort of mentally if you cop the knock in round one? It's, you're going to miss 3 weeks. It's a quarter of the season.
Yeah, it's brutal.
I mean, mentally it's not very nice because you know how much training you do and you know how much time you put in and you try and build up until round one, and then to get injured in the first round, it's like a mental thing, if anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
More importantly, the off-season, your sister was drafted.
Yes.
She was.
It seemed very exciting. Was there a preemptive phone call that she was going to get called across to WA, or was there just, I'm going to go wherever?
So she was told, I think I can say this or I'm going to just throw her under the bus anyways. She was told it was either North were going to take her or Fremantle were going to take her. Now North had the pick after Fremantle, but we still had no idea if Freo was going to take her or not until it lagged on the TV. So the first thing that come up was the name and then they called it. So, yeah, Freo ended up taking her first and North was the one after. So, either way, we'll start.
Yeah, just draft her. That's awesome.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah. You go.
I was going to say, has there been a sneaky text message to the AFL come on, Richmond and Freo, come on, guys.
Yeah,
we got to do it.
Yeah.
Not yet, but I will be putting it out on all podcasts. Richmond versus Freo, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, if you line up against your sister one-on-one, who's winning that battle?
Well, me, every day of the week.
Yeah.
And if I don't, I think I have a bit of a worry because I've been in the system a little bit longer than her.
That is true.
But then again, she's a lot taller than me and looking at the way they're training at the minute, she might be coming in a lot stronger. So, the one-on-one thing is something I'm looking forward to.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, she's pretty good at giving lip. This is the problem. She's good at giving lip.
Too, yeah.
I can't think of things on the spot. I'm good at just having a laugh out there. If I'm out there, I'm just like, oh, how hard is it out here today? Gosh, I'm unfit this season or something like that. Whereas she's good at giving lip and she's always been good at that growing up. So that's what I'm more nervous about. I could beat her one-on-one physically.
She might get in you.
But the lippy,
so if
she might get me.
You hit a clanger and she just hits you with a one-liner, it could just destroy your day.
Yeah, I would just then go, I said the one thing I know I probably would do to her would be the good old pushing the ground on the way up.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, that little dirty, cheeky one where, I need to get up first, I'll push her in the ground.
mud. I like it.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. Yeah. So Laura Kane, whoever's in charge there.
Richmond Freo.
Round one. Do it.
Please,
Just any
please.
game.
Nah, round one. Do it round one. Get it out of the way nice and early. They sent you to Perth last year to play West Coast.
Hey, that's what I was going to say. The twins got it last year,
That's
the Hoskins
true.
twins.
Yeah. Let's get
Can
the
the
Egan
sisters,
sisters.
the Egan sisters this year, please? It's West Coast last year, Freo this year.
Also, give me a Presparkis bowl. Give me Essendon and Geelong. I need that in my life again too.
Yes.
Facts.
Importantly, you have the nickname Greg.
Yes.
Is this an alter ego thing? Like I had a friend that I knew from Newcastle. Her name was Taylor, but I think she was called Jeff when she got on the beers. So
Jeff.
went full bogan. So is it? Am I thinking of a similar vibe here, or is it just?
You know what? Like, I always want to have a cool story behind this, and but I've got no cool story, unfortunately. I know. I always say it's from a night out when I kissed a guy named Greg. That's always the story I go with. But
works.
unfortunately, it's just from my name.
Yeah.
Grace
Gotcha.
and then Egan.
That's all right.
Greg.
It works.
The start of it each.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon it works pretty
That's
well.
actually
Simple?
slightly disappointing.
I know.
I thought it would be
Good
that.
though. The best nicknames are the easiest and simple ones.
I think it works well.
There was 2 Graces back in VFL at Richmond.
Yeah.
I hated having the same name as someone.
Yeah.
And then someone said, JK, she was our captain. You ever been called Greg? And then I thought at Richmond, I'm not going with this.
Yeah.
Got to Carlton. Someone must have told Taylor Harris. She yelled it down the hallway.
Yeah.
Stuck.
It's stuck.
And ever since then, it's stuck. I think even Monconti did an interview once, called me Greg Egan, and
I've
they
seen an
wrote it
early
in the Herald
interview,
Sun.
yeah.
So
They wrote it in the Herald Sun?
Yeah, Greg Egan, Monconti, and Ellie McKenzie, I think it was. So
that's so good.
yeah, that's my name now.
you go.
I actually, if I had my back turned, I'd just turn around if someone yelled out Greg.
There you go.
Yeah.
Is there any other best nicknames you've heard throughout your footy career, or even at Richmond, Carlton,
Oh,
juniors?
I was going to say there's a new girl in our team, Sierra, and I could be making this up, but I reckon it's true.
If it is, it's on the internet,
facts.
so it's true.
Yeah. She has Subway tattooed on her.
Wow.
I know, random.
Wait,
I think she
the
worked
names?
there. Subway.
Eat fresh.
So we've been calling her Subbers.
Subbers. Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
So we're going with that one. Yeah.
Subbers. That's
Subbers.
What I need
to get some facts behind that, but I heard it and
It's out there now.
I believe it's true.
No, I like that. We have to ask her what her go-to sub is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be a good little
Might
shot.
be a little bit of a sponsorship thing for her.
Yeah.
If it sticks.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was like Josh Goater in the AFL had goat soap. He was
Goat
sponsored.
soap. Oh, yeah.
Get your goat on. You know that.
That is so good. Yeah.
I mean, the AFL did.
What's Greg?
Yeah.
Yeah, Greg.
Is it Greg
Greg the
Beers
Wiggle?
or
The
something?
Wiggle?
Greg's it's an American
Oh,
brand.
it is.
You know, the UK
Yeah.
Yeah.
sausage
Greg's,
roll.
yeah.
Oh,
Greg's.
you can
Well,
get
I got to
sponsored by
contact
Greg.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
sausage roll, it goes hand in hand with footy, which like leads on to the straight next question. Best footy snack.
Oh,
Ooh.
So I'm just going everywhere with
we were
this.
talking about this before the
Yeah.
show. Yeah.
Best footy snack.
So you're at the footy, you're watching. So say you're going to the MCG this weekend to watch Richmond and whoever, you're having a snack. What are you getting?
I'm always hot chips.
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Love a good hot chips. Yeah.
You can never go wrong with hot chips
Yeah.
and some tomato sauce.
Agreed.
Have you had the
Yeah.
hot chips at Whitten Oval?
No.
Before the game? No.
What kind?
No,
you
no.
know there's different kinds of hot chips, but like...
No, so if you go to Whitten Oval next to where the pancake parlour is and you get the hot chips there, they are the best hot chips in the AFLW.
Alex gets obsessed with a lot of random little things, and he's throughout the AFL. We've got an AFLW Today Show, and he was rating all the chips at all the grounds. So
Yeah.
he gets obsessed with that more than the actual food.
I actually like this because I like hot chips.
There you go.
Whitten
I was
Oval?
having this conversation with Paps up in
Yeah.
Sydney recently,
Oh.
and they don't have snitch chips up there.
and
And
they're good.
I thought he was missing out.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I put them up there. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the best hot chip is Whitten Oval.
Whitten Oval. Well, normally when I'm at Whitten Oval, I'm
Yeah,
playing.
you're playing,
yeah.
So
Pre-game
So,
snack.
I might get a post game next
I
time
found
I'm
myself twice in a week at Whitten Oval. So
Maybe
it was
we could do a short where you hand you some chips over the bench.
Yeah.
Oh, post-game,
After the
we
game.
could do
After
that.
the game.
a post game. I would
Just
do
at least
it.
one chip.
the punt road
I'll take them all.
once.
Hopefully after a win.
What was it? Grand final eve. That was Collingwood and Gold Coast. So we can't blame Richmond for this, but the punt road chips were disappointing.
That's
Yeah.
Stubbo.
Yeah.
Actually, they were.
They were
Really?
unsalted.
Yeah.
There was no flavour. Like it was just
No salt.
out of the thing. Bang! There you go.
Same as Windy Hill.
Oh, Windy Hill were clearly
They
the
weren't
worst.
even cooked. They weren't even cooked at Windy
Yeah,
Hill.
that was very.
I love this.
Why am
Yeah.
I getting into this as much as you?
Because
know?
you
I'm
were
creeping myself
there.
out.
You
Ugh.
One in all in.
Yeah.
You were just as angry as me there.
I was.
So we may as well talk about Richmond as well. And obviously, so last season really built into the season, made the finals. Unfortunately, got knocked out in that first week of finals. But I suppose there's a lot of learnings to take from that season because we said it here. sort of throughout the year that Richmond were threatening to do it all season, and it just felt like there was one or two things that went missing at key times. What were the learnings from that season?
I feel like as a team, we've been able to grow our list and stick with the same list for a few years. Even like at the end of last year, we may have lost a couple, but being able to have that foundation, the foundation players. I think we just got to learn that it takes time. And last year, having like Ali McKenzie come back and play a consistent season in the mids, because the season is so short, we just need more time together and to be able to make that stronger. And then we need to grow. Like every year there's something different that we've come back and changed, and it's a mindset thing. Like the first year we changed making finals, we come back and change. We can make finals. We need to stop thinking, oh, if we will, and
good call.
Things like that. So like more of that kind of stuff is how we take away. Last year was disappointing, obviously, to go and play Port and lose that game. But yeah, I think this year it's just like, well, we know we can do it. It's now building on that.
Yeah. I reckon your midfield, do you rate your midfield against anyone? I think the depth in your midfield now is just unbelievable. Yeah.
I think the depth in our midfield is, really unbelievable. And just like I said, it's just like having more time together and being able to train and be on the track and learn how each other play, because we're all completely different, like Ali, Mon, myself, and then the new girls coming in now, as well as Ali Dalloway. But we all play completely different, and now it's just like we need to get better at learning how each other play.
Yeah, good call. I just saw recently, obviously, in your off-season that you've got Fev down at Tigerland.
Yeah, I know.
Have you got anything to do with him? He's more of a forwards coach, but have you had a bit of work to do with him? I saw he's like a kid in a playground. He's absolutely loving it. He's loving it down there. So have you had much to do with him?
So he's been running around on the park with us. It's just like having another player out there, honestly.
That's good.
He's like a kid running around. Look, he knows what he's talking about.
Absolutely.
I think if anything, he's bringing a bit more of a culture thing for us. Being able to have fun, but also learning how, different skills. And he's been amazing so far. And
awesome.
He's built some good relationships with the girls so far. I haven't been able to get around him just as much, but I definitely think I will. I think we have a lot in common. So.
Oh, there you go. I love that.
Maybe more off field.
I want to hear all these stories and stuff.
I know, that'd be great.
So one thing, obviously, one of the greatest goal kickers that we've ever had, he had a funky way that he held the ball, is something that he sort of trying to influence. It's something I've noticed with a few players in the AFLW is there are probably 5 or 6 key forwards that have set shot routines. Everyone else sort of is like, I don't know what to do. Is that something that he's sort of bringing in to make sure everyone goes through the right process every time? Because that happened a few times in your season. You probably didn't make the most of your opportunities.
Yeah, that's exactly why they've brought him in. And even speaking with the girls, he's been in, a month and a bit now. Speaking with one of the girls, she said she did a one-on-one session with him and she was able to improve just in the one session. And like the way he explains things and the girls are able to understand it is great. So to hear that already, it's a massive difference for us.
Finds Katie Brennan
goals
to kick most
so
goals.
Most Katie Brennan, yeah. She'll fire up.
KB can't teach everyone, which is trying to train, so it's good to have Fev in too.
Yeah, two of the goats.
So aside from Richmond, because obviously this competition is just expanding at a rapid rate with all the players that are coming through every year, the new crop of draftees, you must look at them and go, oh, God damn it, you're fast.
They're all
who either like the current ones that are coming through or even ones that have been around for the last 2 years, who are you sort of excited to see just explode? Because it does seem to me that there's much more of like everyone's so happy for each other to be making this a profession now, but there's also that, hey, we want to beat you, but who are you excited to sort of watch?
I think Ash Centra is my number one coming in this year. My little sister was obviously in her age group, so I went and seen some of the games that she played last year, and just the skill. Like she literally is an amazing player. She ran rings around those girls. So I think to see her come in this year also like makes the older girls realize like those girls have been doing it since they're young. So like we need to lift or else you're off the list now too. And I reckon it's unreal. Like
it's good.
Yeah,
great
you got to lift.
Is that like being a bit of an older player, is that exciting to see now that there is that proper pathway from basically all the way through junior footy rather than getting to under 12s and then doing something else for 5 or 6 years. But it's now you can do this, like little girl picking up the football to have her first kick this week. Yeah. She can see you, she can see Katie Brennan, Ella Roberts, so and so on TV and go, I can do that.
Yeah. Oh, I get jealous. That's my problem.
Yeah.
I get so jealous. I had this conversation with my dad recently. I said, I'm jealous of Holly. And then he was like, and then I was like, oh, that's not the right word. But I'm like, she got to do it. She watched me do it. Like, so then she started 6 years younger than me. And then now she's finished school, gone straight into a full-time wage. Full-time, it's pretty much full-time career 6 months of the year. But no, I love it. Like, that's why we did it. That's why we started. And to see how far it's come already, and then the girls coming through the draft, how skillful they are.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's the reason, that's the whole point of how the girls push so hard for it. And now it's finally like you'll be able to see it pay off. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One final thing on the W before we roll into everything that goes on in the midweek madness. What are like one or two things that you'd love to see if you were in charge today and you got to implement two things? What would it be? Like, obviously we know like there's the full-time scheduling, no midweek games, things like. What are you sort of doing? You have two things you can do. What are they?
Well, number one is I'm lining up the men's and the women's season.
Yeah.
Like, full stop.
Love that.
Full stop. I'm sick of having that conversation really with people asking about it. Like, think of it like we play the same time, we travel together as a team, and then we both get to experience grand final week. We both are in the parade. Men on Saturday, women on Sunday. Yeah. You know, if they need to keep it separate on the game days. But, like, the whole atmosphere is amazing while we're not doing it together.
That'll build the crowds in the finals, I reckon, as well. If they're right after each other,
Right after each other, you know. And the like grand final parade, like the fact that the women don't actually get to even be a part of that. The women from the previous year get to go, but then it's
a bit awkward.
It's already it's over by then.
4 months later.
Yeah. So that's my number one. Yeah. And number two, just make us full time all year round. Yeah. Which follows on with making the season. It's lining the seasons up. Makes sense.
I really like that.
Yeah.
So my big thing last year was in the bye before the finals, Marvel Stadium Saturday night. That's when the grand final would be, because you've got your whole week. It's like, all right, we've got a week away from the men's. Let's build up all week Marvel Stadium for the grand final. And I know that non-Victorians go, oh, we can share it around. No, this is just an example. Marvel Stadium, closed roof, great conditions no matter what.
Under 18 girls played Marvel last year.
Yeah, that's right.
Versus Vic. And I have never seen such a skillful game. And it was just because it was it was all closed in, perfect weather. Yeah, so I would be all for that.
We could talk about some of the parks that you play at, but that's a slippery road that we go down.
A prime example, did you watch the men in Tassie on the weekend?
Yeah.
And how they couldn't kick the ball straight because the wind was taking it?
Exactly.
Well, us girls played in Tassie last year and the game was like the lowest scoring game. Yeah. And they wonder why.
Yeah, so it was tough for anyone.
Yeah.
Was it the North Melbourne game? Was that
it was
that game?
Pouring rain.
Sideways?
It pretty much was like a river out there. Yeah. It was flooded.
Yeah. Looked like great fun.
Yeah. I've never played in weather like that.
Yeah.
So
actually, last one, you mentioned that, Darwin for Dreamtime.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It looked sweaty, but it looked like a great experience.
Best experience ever. Yeah. Like getting to travel as a team, be able to go out to the community, but then also stay up there and go and play in the Dreamtime jerseys is just like the best feeling ever. Yeah.
And is that locked in every year now? Like I
think so, yeah. Speaking to some of the, yes, it is.
Love to hear that.
Awesome, yeah.
It's amazing.
It looks so good, yeah.
All right, with that being said, we'll take a quick break here from our sponsors and we'll be back for the midweek winner and loser.
Tonight's game's going to be epic.
Missed by one on the AFL? With Tab, you can stay in the game. Miss by one on any disposals leg and Tab will still pay you out as a winner. Tab, we're on.
Imagine what you could be buying instead.
All right, we are back for the midweek winner and loser of the week. So, Grace, this is quite simple. We talk about some stuff that's going on in the footy world and talk about the winners and losers. So we'll start off with the winners. And, well, it's Caleb Sarong because he's like, hey, I play in derbies, I win medals because he's now equaled the most Glendenning Allen medals with 4 with Paul Hazelby. So that just shows it's he's a 3-0 way to go.
I think we had an argument about this on the Sunday show, and he did have 4. So
he
was a big
won
argument.
His 4th.
Yes, so he's won his 4th, which is the equal most. He's just a beast. Yeah, I love him.
I love watching Caleb Strong, but this is why we're here. This is why we've got you here, Grace, is because gather round kits are being released left, right, and centre, and we love a different kit because we love merchandising. But the Sydney Swans released theirs yesterday. Bold choice to go for mainly white when they're playing Collingwood.
I know.
I didn't even think about that, but it looks good.
It looks good.
Yeah.
I give it to them.
Yeah.
I'm a plain and simple gal, and I think it looks the best. Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of the best kits we've had in a long time, I reckon.
So this is my thing. Like, you see where people around, like they wear NBA singlets or they wear like NFL Guernseys or soccer
You're going
Guernseys.
on this again.
No, but this is a fair question. Like, would you like to see like a merchandise line where teams are releasing like their Guernseys but as shirts? So maybe you see more people wear them around in a casual scene rather than just wearing a singlet over their jumper at a game.
Yeah. I think it's becoming a lot better, like streetwear sort of thing.
Yes.
Yes.
Like that, or Mitchell and Ness have been doing it, things like that. But there needs to be more,
I think there should be more because wearing is not really a trend, I don't think. It's not like, but I think it should be yes, is my answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Dogs, they're up and about. The fans are like, hey, including me, I'm on board now, all of a sudden.
Finally,
Bevo in.
Nah, I'm still not sold on him, but he's doing a good job. They've got a very young team and they're doing a really good job.
Seeing a team sort of like bounce back from injuries like that, like take us sort of inside what that would be like when your best 4 players are out injured and you're still managing to win games. Like, like let's just say Monconti, like touch wood, misses the first 3 weeks of the season and Katie Brennan's out, like, and you win games. What would that do inside the 4 walls?
Oh, the vibes would be high. That's probably the main thing. And then you just know that you've got good depth in your team and now you know you can do it without them. So when they do come back, you just think how much better they can be. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah. An interesting one that came out this week, and I understand it, but I also think it's in this day and age, it's a little bit weird. Jake Stringer has a skin folds thing in his contract, basically saying you need to be at X% body fat to hit certain targets to get paid more. Now, we'll go to the professional here because Stats Going High skin folds way off the charts.
I haven't done a skin fold in a while.
After 15 beers on the weekend, mine are way out of whack. But how is that intrinsic and extrinsic pressure to know that you need to be so fit to get paid? Like, how would you go if that was sort of put to you and Jake Stringer is someone, contracted you Jake Stringer, like do you think it's something that he wanted?
I honestly reckon it was something he wanted. Personally, myself, I feel like I need something like that to give me that motivation to know that I'll get paid each week.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like you can get stuck in a little bit of I'm still getting paid no matter what. So I reckon at probably this point of his career, new club, it keeps him on it. Like he knows he will get paid as long as that's a thing.
Yeah.
Even though if it wasn't real, I think personally, I would probably do that too if I felt like it was going to keep me motivated.
Yeah, well, it seems to be working.
Yeah.
I think we're talking. He looks really good. He's back.
Looks ripped.
Yeah. So hopefully he can sort of stay on the park as well because it was interesting. And I suppose you could probably talk about this too with your sister is he said in the offseason, like, I've never trained so hard in preseason, obviously coming from Essendon and the Dogs to that. That's sort of an eye-opener going there so late in your career. But like, have you talked to your sister about the training that Freo's been doing and sort of comparing notes and seeing how hard it is compared to what you're doing?
Yeah, I have been comparing everything.
Ooh. Yeah.
I mean, we're training completely different right now at this point in time. Comparing what she's doing and what I'm doing, it's 2 different programs. So I'd love to see how we go in season. And right now Freya are training very hard. Whereas we're doing like different 4-week blocks.
Okay.
But I compare everything now. I just can't wait to see how it actually goes when it comes to games.
So is that something like Freo trying to get to their peak fitness, say by the start of June, and then can sort of roll into the season, trying to keep that level without? We saw a spate of soft tissue injuries in the men's competition this year. Having a slower and more sort of intense build up before being able to, what's the word I'm thinking of when you back off a couple of weeks out, like when you train for a marathon?
Oh, don't ask me.
The deload.
Yeah, deload.
That's
is that sort of something that maybe Fremantle are looking at?
Yeah, I think so. I think those girls over there, they've got a lot of depth. They've got older girls and younger girls. So I think they've got girls that have trained for years. They know how to train their bodies. Yeah. And they're training super hard now, and then they might go into that deload. But it's so funny, like then we're also training very hard, but we're doing different sort of deloads.
Okay.
So you can compare only so much, but I think it just comes down to then in season and how many you've got on the track. And
exactly.
Stuff
If you're fit and healthy anyway.
Yeah, so that's where I'm waiting. I'm like, all right, well, this is what we're doing now, but I'll wait till pre-season and in season and then see where we're both at.
Nice.
Yeah. And finally, for the losers, Josh Rochelle, a couple of broken ribs after copping that knee. Was it Cherry who rolled
I think
him on
so.
the
You
weekend?
don't want to cop a knee from Cherry.
If Tristan Cherry rolls into me, I'm probably out.
He
of
actually
commission.
knocked over Riley O'Brien as well.
Yeah, actually, Riley O'Brien should be on the losers of the week too, trying to run up to Tristan Cherry.
And Cherry just decked him.
And getting in there hey, come on, mate, bang. And Riley O'Brien's the one that's gone to ground. Like, is there something like that'd be more deflating? Like you trying to take someone on and then they put you on your ass?
Well, I'll give you a prime example. It was round 1 when I played for Carlton.
Yep.
I was on Brie Davey, pushed her, went back for the mark. Darcy Vesio pushed her Ruby Slasher into me and she broke my ribs. And punctured my lung, Ruby.
So that'd be 6 weeks right now.
Yeah, the new rule with Mansell.
True. So, So, I mean, Darcy had no idea.
Yeah.
I went back with the fly, but unfortunately in the end I just copped it. But
So that tribunal's happening tonight. Like, what are your thoughts on that from a sort of a player welfare and duty of care towards your opposition players?
Oh, look, it's in the moment, in the moment, you have only eyes for the ball. You know, if someone's pushed someone, you're only looking up, you can't see what's in front.
Yeah.
So everything's very different, even the Ryan Mansell one. You have no idea. So I don't think players would ever do that on purpose to ever hurt someone else. So,
Fair.
I think that's a great sort of point to finish up on because we've got the rest of the show to do, Stats Guy, because we've got to preview some Thursday night footy. But so Thursday night, who is playing? Carlton and Collingwood?
Collingwood, yeah.
Yeah, who do you think will win Thursday night, Carlton and Collingwood?
Easy answer, surely.
I'm going to go with Collingwood.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just keeping
just going up. I'm really getting behind the Dan having to do stuff.
Every week.
The Richmond,
the blue hair.
Orange.
The blue hair. So I just want to see what he has to do this week. So
he'd have to get a tattoo or lose a tooth or something.
It's very funny.
Something like this. But I'm going Collingwood.
I don't know when their next win
And it's
will
going to be heated.
Well, they're playing West Coast in 2 weeks at Gather Round. That'll be interesting.
I'll back them then, but Carlton are just off the rails at the moment.
Yeah, they are.
They got to back Collingwood.
They absolutely are. Well, Grace, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, we'll catch you after this. We'll be here to preview Thursday night footy after this. Welcome back to AFL Today. How good was that, Stats Guy?
Oh, so
Bit
good.
of class in the joint.
Class, yeah. A bit of fun. It was all around good fun.
Good times, good hangs, great vibes. Thank you to Grace Egan. But Thursday night footy! Collingwood take on Carlton. MCG, not Marvel. Why have you written Marvel on my run sheet there?
That was already there.
Stats Guy. As if this game would be at Marvel. Anyways, as we go into this game, there is some scuttlebutts and some rumours abound that Tom De Koning has been offered $12 million over 7 years by St Kilda. Now, Stats Guy, I pose you the question, is Tom De Koning the best ruckman in the competition or soon to be the best ruckman, and is he worth that money?
I'd say right now he is. He's having the most impact. I think over the season, I think Cherry will be the best ruck. Marshall will be up there if he can stay fit.
Marshall, please.
He can be up there if he stays fit, but even Lloyd Meek. But right now, TDK is the number one ruck.
If you're offering someone $12 million and you have Rowan Marshall, it's telling you that Rowan Marshall's not in the top 5 ruckmen in the comp.
That's why I'm finding it a little bit weird because they sort of will play that similar role. TDK is an extra midfielder though, so he's awesome. I think he can be worth that, but I don't know why the Saints are going after him over other players.
Because they've got a lot of money and they were like, oh my God, can someone good please come here?
Do you reckon he's the best ruck?
I think he can develop into the best ruckman in the competition. Ooh. He is Carlton's most important player right now.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Anyway, Carlton, Collingwood. Thursday night. There should be a big crowd there. You'd hope there's a big crowd there.
Massive, yeah.
Collingwood $1.48, Carlton $2.65. Give us some stats and some bets, Stats Guy. Of course, brought to you by our friends at Tab.
Absolutely. We'll start off with the over-under. The total points is at 168.5. I'm going under 168.5 total points in this one. $1.90. You get that, of course, with Tab. Carlton. Now, we've seen their offensive worries, especially in the second half. Their last 9 games have actually gone under the total points. You look on the side of Collingwood, their forward line's not vibing at the moment. Dan McStay's been spraying them everywhere a little bit. So I'm happy to go under that 168. I actually thought that might be a little bit lower. So I'm going under.
I was going on the pure vibe of this, and I was going to go, this game's going under 100%. Both forward lines, not great. I know Collingwood kicked a big score against Port, but I just don't think both forward lines are dangerous enough to hit, 85 points each.
Yeah, it's a pretty big total for. It's going to be like a.
This feels like 72-60.
Yeah, that's been a lot of those.
That's 132.
And especially when Carlton probably get 50 of those points in the first half.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm with you on the unders there. But give us your sort of play multi and your best bet for this game. You've been nailing these as of late.
Yeah, I've been going okay. Thursday night, let's go. Jack Crisp and Adam Sard 20 plus disposals. You get $3 odds with a player multi there. Crisp, I think he's so consistent. He just plays every single game. I need to check the stat. I'll check it.
He's about to be the record. Yeah.
The record for most consistent games. Consecutive as well. Yep, that's the word.
He consistently plays games because he plays consecutive games.
There we go. Good tongue twister. Crisp, he's averaging 22 disposals this season, 20 plus in each game so far. So I think that's a lock for his 20 plus.
Yep.
And then Adam Sard, he had 19 disposals last game. You're going, oh, that's not 20. If you miss by one with Tab, you get paid out as a winner. So 19 disposals, that's a tick in your multi. Last week, I think he can get at least 20 this time, and he had 21 last meeting with the Pies.
So what the stats guy forgot to say is download the Tab app today.
Absolutely.
Imagine what you could be buying instead.
Give us your tip. Go on.
Oh, well, if you're not tipping Collingwood, then what are you doing? Collingwood, I reckon it will be close again. It's the classic Carlton game this year where they go really well in the first half. They look solid. They crash and bash.
I think well is a word.
Well, they get the lead and then they get all their fans' hopes up and then they come crushing down. So I think it'll be about Collingwood by 20 points, but that 20-point margin won't happen until like halfway through the third quarter when Carlton run out of their legs.
Collingwood win, and it's not a great spectacle once again on Thursday night. At least Essendon aren't playing on Thursday night this week.
Yeah, true.
Now I have to check if they're playing Friday night, just to really set myself up for that joke if they're playing Friday night.
I don't think they are.
No, Geelong and Melbourne in Geelong.
I'm going to that.
You're going Geelong?
Yeah, I'm going to Geelong. To the Cattery, Taxpayer Park. Why not?
Yeah, go see if you can get some of our tax dollars back.
Yeah, done.
Yeah. All right, I think that's us done and dusted this week, Stats Guy.
Yeah, good show.
What a good midweek madness that was.
Absolutely.
Of course, we are brought to you by our friends at Tab and their Miss by One AFL's disposal margin. If your player misses by one, Tab will still pay you out as a winner. Now download the Tab app today. What are you really gambling with? All right, this has been the Midweek Madness on AFL Today. A massive thank you to Grace Egan for coming in and joining the show today. That was a bunch of fun, wasn't it, Stats Guy?
That was so good. One of the best guests we've had in a long time.
Check out the social media. We've got some content going on with Grace as well across AFL Today and AFLW Today. So check that out on TikTok, Instagram, X, and Facebook. Aussie Rules Today for the men's stuff. And it's just AFL Today, AU. For the rest of the stuff on, TikTok and all that stuff. Of course, YouTube, Make sure you like and subscribe there. We've hit the 5,000 goal.
Yes.
So the next goal apparently is 10,000 by Anzac Day.
We said that.
Or was it 10,000 by round 10?
That's what we
10
came
by
up
10.
with. We come up with random goals on the Thursday night show, and that was what we came up with last week.
Marcus is really killing me with his random goals there. So
oh, yeah, we can get that.
10,000 by round 10. I think I'm away by then, so good luck to you boys.
Oh, we'll get the subscribers will go through the roof.
Of course, the views will go through the roof too. Of course, a massive thank you to producer Gerald for all the good stuff that he does on AFL Today. The boys will catch you on Thursday for the team show, so they'll record that on Thursday night. It will be out for you to listen to first thing Friday morning, and then, of course, Sunday night, we will wrap it all up. Still got 8 games of footy at the moment because the buys are still happening, but it's okay. Gather around next week. We're going to be over there, but we will catch you then on AFL Today.
Tonight's game's going to be epic.
Missed by one on the AFL? With Tab, you can stay in the game. Miss by one on any disposals leg, and Tab will still pay you out as a winner. Tab, we're on.
Imagine what you could be buying instead.